T-shirt off. I'm trying. Oh my gosh.
We've all changed, right? All right. So this morning I went to the dentist. Tough day. Had a lot of Novocaine. Fortunately, was knocked out. I'm not sure what was worse.
Oh.
Our offensive production or my time at the dentist this morning have changed into his orange shirt. Dougie Fresh took off the T-shirt or whatever he had on me. He took off the jacket. Josh B staying loyal. All right. So, but as much as we've changed, UVA needs to do something with that anemic offense. What do we need to do in the second half to fix this? Besides the obvious of making shots.
You know, I think Tony's got a great opportunity right now to show fans some flexibility and some new thinking and a strategy shift. This isn't regular season anymore. Like if we lose, we're going home. So what would I do? I'd put all the shooters out there. I'd play Elijah, let him have, you guys remember, I remember I was fortunate enough to go to the Final Four in Indianapolis when Duke beat, was it Wisconsin, and Grayson Allen came in as a spark plug and changed the whole tenor of that game. Like we need something like that. We need someone to come in who can go get a bucket. I mean, this is what all the pundits have been saying. Virginia can't shoot. They can't score. 14 at the half. I mean, my daughter plays 12U basketball. This is like their score at the half.
May. Ash, you're missing the entire point. It doesn't happen often, but what we really have to do is work on closeouts.
Yes, and as long as we're continuous and close out, there's moral victory.
That was actually, man, what game am I watching when it's, if we were better on defense, they wouldn't have 27 and they'd have more like 15 and they'd be in reach. We had better on defense.
And by the way, don't forget they've missed some bunnies. It should be like 34 to 14.
So they missed some bunnies, and also, Josh made the great point of Ryan Dunn's defense was going to make some changes in the game. He changed a couple of shots early. He got a couple of hands on a couple of blocks.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, because I'm texting Ty at the game, and we're talking, going back and forth. And 17% shooting. If we don't make some changes fast, we have to more than double our score, right, to be in this game next for the second half. Right, we're down 13 points, 27-14. If we don't come out, we don't score 30 points. We've got no shot. Right, 30 plus points. Right, Josh, how are we going to do that?
Only if we hold in the 2 in the second half, then we have a real shot.
Josh, how are we going to do that?
I think
shooters. What else? What else do we need to do besides have suggestions of playing shooters?
I think, to be honest, I hate to say this. I don't think I've ever been this negative about anything, but I don't know about you guys. I thought the effort in that half was horrendous. I didn't think anyone would, honestly, you want to be frustrated, oh, Rhodey, don't take that shot. Oh, Dante, don't do that. I can't be pissed at them when they're the only guys that are running and putting effort in. It's so frustrating. I don't know what I just watched. I don't know if maybe, some guys are still sore or beat up worse than they should be. I mean, this time of the year, everybody's played a lot of games in the last week. It's not really an excuse at this point. But no, I'm with you guys. I mean, put Elijah in, and I think what frustrated me the most, and maybe this is from only watching them play one other team in their conference, which, granted, San Diego State went to the title game last year, but they didn't bring back most of that team, so they're not, the same team. I could not believe that we weren't more athletic than them other than Ryan. The fact that Reese kept constantly driving and couldn't get a step on them to get to the lane was just insane to me. I don't know what the deal is there, but if that's your game plan, if our plan is to just try to probe and attack that way, let's see Elijah do it, because that was really bad.
I was on the phone, Josh B, with my good buddy Lance Payton, and basically saying, are they just throwing in the towel for the season? He basically the same take you did watching that first half.
Yeah, I can't, to be honest with you, I really thought with all the stress and the crap that's happened in the last 72 hours or whatever, they would be loose. Like I thought this was the one time we'd go into the tournament and not be tight. And this team is stiffer than I think any team I've ever seen. Like I don't know what is going on or what they're doing. There was a brief stretch there where I'm going to single him out. Isaac got moving and it resulted in 2 good shots and truthfully what should have been a goaltend. But I can't even be pissed they missed that call at this point because we'd have 16 instead of 14. Like that's not good. Like it's a sad day when it feels like our best strategy right now is just to go to the free throw line because we went 2 for 2 in a strange turn of events. Like I don't know what to make of this bizarro world. Like I don't know who opened the portal to this, but I wish they would close it.
Doug, you guys are 3 for 18, right? You're 2 guys, but even with like Reese being 1 for 9, there's a lot of text messages going back and forth, right? In chats talking about his like non-desire to take shots early on. He had some good looks early that he just passed up on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he did. He had at least three shots he's got to take. And what it says to me is he's still, we all love Reese, but he's still not comfortable taking a jump shot. He should be at this point, and he's not. And that's going to hurt him in the NBA, regardless how good he is defensively. Pat Beverly would have taken those shots. If we're going to compare him to him, he's got to be able to shoot it.
You know what hit me out of the gate is I think our first 3, maybe 4 possessions is where we were borderline shot clock violations. Tane had to force one. Somebody else, whoever it was. We were getting shots. We were having to shoot the ball with only 2 seconds left in the shot clock. Not that we were getting shots with 2 seconds left. Does that make sense? And I think you said Reese. You guys said Reese passed a couple up. Other people passed them up. But when are we playing is it like the degree of difficulty that counts? It doesn't count. I don't know. It's like watching the Pac-Man. Remember when you played Pac-Man as a kid, and they had the ghost would do the same play every time. That's what we do on offense every time until it gets down to under 5, and then you got to go. You said it, Fresh. We're a very easy scout, and I was thinking of that. It's basically face guard Isaac, run him off the line, and then take your chances with everyone else. Reese's shot looks broken. Like he took that one from the side. It would look like it just doesn't look right. It looks worse than it has in the past. And the other thing that I noticed is that Tane is now on the scouting report. They know what to do with Tane. They're not he's not an afterthought anymore. And that's a big change for a player when all of a sudden they know what you want to do versus like, oh, wow, he scored, 11 points out of nowhere. Now they know what he's capable of, and they're doing things to prevent that. So a very easy scout. They've done a good job, and they should be up 20, not, whatever they are now.
Really could be happy. We also missed some open ones. Right, Grove just missed 2 wide open ones. Not going to hit every shot. Right, we don't give up yet, Belinda. Don't do it. We're Belinda's saying that season at this point in the season. But I think
Reese got hit twice on drives, which he might normally get somewhere else in the ACC overall, in any gym in the ACC, any arena. I thought he did that. Not that matters. Not that it changes the whole complexion. I'm not making this good. I hate complaining about refs, but I thought he definitely got hit on a couple of them.
Someone just made the point that I was also going to make, that the paint is so congested.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of ability to maneuver inside that congested paint, right? Completely agree. And I think that Isaac looks like he's running hard and has some energy. He's just not knocking them down right now. And sometimes that happens, right? And it scares me that you're relying on one person or somebody from the outside to knock down shots. Because if we're not knocking those down, it's a long day. It's a long night, right? I mean, and if Reese doesn't have the same energy level for whatever reason, and defensively, we talked. You guys talked about the coaches over there running a lot of good sets. He's slicing us up. He's running some really, really good sets. Right? I'm impressed by him. I like the stuff he's running.
Do you notice how quickly the ball moves around the perimeter really quickly? Yes. Side to side, there's picking, screening, cutting. it's not just rotating slowly around the perimeter and looking at your next pass. They actually have action as opposed to like,
Absolutely.
you know.
Well, have you made a great point. You brought up Carolina back in the day. Carolina ran their offense at about a 75% pace, but they ran it perfectly, decisively. Who we're playing tonight? San Francisco? I'm kidding. Colorado State, they're not extremely fast. Who's the guy, the headband guy? But they make their cuts precise and perfectly, right? And that makes you faster. Well, it makes you faster than you are.
Yes.
When you're doing it at the right time, right? Exactly. And that's what, King Rice and those guys would lull sleep backdoor. Boom. So change of pace, these things.
I agree, Doug. It's
hard to prepare for.
Yeah,
unless you see it.
And reading each other, and sometimes that's what you get when you play with each other for 2-3 years, right? And you guys who chemistry, and you know what cuts they're going to make, and you know what to look for, and you run that offense over and over again. And we run 2 offenses, right, that are kind of stagnant, and you know it's locker movers. It's going to get outside. Mostly, it's going to create outside opportunities. The offense CSU is running, they're getting layups. They're curling off screens. Right, they're running the pick and rolls. There's 2 guys jumping at the shooter, leaving a guy under the basket wide open. They're running multiple sets that are getting them open looks time after time after time. Wacky Win, I love your optimism, and I'm kind of feeling it, but I'm questioning it also. And I'm waiting for you to say your line, but we about the first 5 minutes of the second half in that third quarter.
Well, I said it to start this off. This is such a great opportunity for Tony to make adjustments and do something out of the box. If we go back to stubbornness, where we say we're gonna stop them and hold them to like 14 points, like this is an opportunity to say we need to try something different. He's got to, because otherwise we're gonna lose, 60-28. And I don't want to be around to hear all that stuff. I know none of us do, but let's, and Mark, you've heard me talk about this. He might say, someone might ask him because it's a national press. Did you ever think about going to Elijah? No, Elijah's been out of the rotation this year. He's coming off an injury, If we had played Elijah, even if it's 5 minutes a game since the Carolina game, he would be ready to go. Now, if you put him in, it's you're trying to, it's a roulette wheel and you're calling red 17. Like it's just not, it's a low percentage play. There are times you get guys minutes and we've whiffed on that. So is he ready? I don't know, but we got to try something because it's not working what we have.
What's the worst text message you guys are getting from your friends? Aren't UVA fans or are UVA fans? I just got one saying UVA should move to D2.
Oh, that's a tough one. One of my friends is going to the movies instead of watching the second half.
Yeah, mine are going to bed, so I feel that. Yeah,
and you're so you got a lot of friends who are probably pro UVA.
Yeah. Me and a couple of buddies are on a text chain, and we talk all day, every day, and we're talking about the game tonight. I'm like, does anybody know if I have True TV? And one of my friends, he's pretty witty. He said, you know what? If you don't have it, just look at the wall during the game, and imagine the anemic offense. And he said some other cut words about, and that'll be pretty much the exact same thing. So that was and that's shit. He's proving right now.
Well, you know what the most frustrating thing is here? Like, even when we try, the first couple minutes of that game was ugly too, right? Like, the game was 4-2 with 5 minutes in. Like, it was bad, right? Like, we all agree on that. We subbed for offense, and okay, we scored some, but they sliced us apart. So, for me, I don't even know, trying to sub to get more shooters on the court. There's certain spots where right now those guys weren't able to do it, and truthfully, it's been a consistent, prolonged issue all season of those guys, not trying to call people by name, but not being able to handle it defensively. So it's like, how do you even get back into this at this point? I mean, this is a tough one. This is a really, really hard, wasn't expecting this. I mean, even they're running good stuff, and maybe they would beat us. I didn't want to cautiously optimistic is what we all kept saying, but to just be getting our teeth kicked in is really bad. Like I don't even know how to feel right now about it, honestly.
Mark, you've heard me talk about this, about easy baskets, right? And our lack of easy baskets. And they don't have a big guy. We talked about that in pregame. We do. How nice would it be to throw it down on the block to Minor or to Blake and have them take a couple power dribbles and elevate for like a jump hook from like 4 feet away? That, we don't always have to do what they do. They have to adjust to us. Why don't we pound it inside and make them adjust to us a little? Why don't we let Minor, who's the biggest dude on the court, the strongest guy on the court by far, or Blake, do something down low? Jacking up like long twos and really deep contested threes doesn't work. We never get the easy baskets. We have to have that in our arsenal. We don't have Zach Edey, but we have somebody that can approximate that against this team where their biggest guy is 6'8", 225.
Dougie, really quickly, first of all, I got another text saying crimes against humanity. Really quickly. Halftime adjustment, you're in the locker room. What are you saying? By the way, I don't expect to see Blake Buchanan in the second half. Go ahead, Dougie.
What am I saying?
What your TB, your Jay Willie?
Well, here's the problem. Forget about us. Jay Willie's in the stall. He's like slamming stuff. Colorado State's coach does not have to make one adjustment. That's the problem. There's nothing that's going to change from their scouting report, right? Oh, guys, watch for the zone. They're going to press us here. They're going to trap. There's no adjustment from their side. And maybe he'll tell them to close out better. Like, it's funny, but from our side, I make shots. I don't know.
Here's the question. Fresh brought it up. If we're down 14 points with 4 minutes left, or 12 points with 3 minutes left, like, will we ever go to a press? Will we ever try to speed up the game? Or are we going to let them run clock, hope they miss? Like, that's what I don't like. I don't like the lack of strategy, the lack of adjustment that we got to do something different. Let's see something.
We better.
Maybe we start. Let's start. I would start Tristan and just tell him to hammer people in the lane. Seriously, just set the tone, dude. Let's go. Get thrown out of the NCAA tonight.
So
you're done.
We got T-Dub saying we can't play much worse. Reese and McNeely 2 for or 3 for 18. They're gonna
the optimist the best.
Give up on us yet. There was somebody else made a comment. We're gonna come back. Let's be optimistic.
All right.
I love the comments, by the way, guys. I read it all the time here, but it messes my flow up because I have some really smart things to say here.
It's hard not to
Thank
speak.
you.
Funny, well-educated fans. All right, we will see you guys. Thanks, Tyler.
Come on, Who's. Let's shock the world. Let's do it.
Come on, Tristan.
We will hopefully see you guys after the half. It's not too late. Take care. Good luck, guys.
It's already